And here we are back on Wednesday night. Welcome, everyone. How's it going? Good. All right. Right along. So, still kind of digging in this area here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That. How's everyone doing on this Wednesday? Hopefully, pretty well. Sorry about the confusion with the previous couple weeks. I ended up filming the 2 episodes you guys saw. I filmed the 2 episodes thinking that I would put them out on Christmas Day and Christmas, or New Year's Day and Christmas Day. And then I ended up not putting anything up on Christmas Day, but yet I was talking as if it was on Christmas Day. So anyway, I've learned my lesson about talking about timely things on pre-recorded videos. But I'm going to do it again. I'm filming this one on Monday of the same week that I'm putting it up, and it is going to go up Wednesday, so I know that. So I can say stuff about this week. But I'm going to be recording a few of these in a row, so I'm not going to talk about things that are coming up because they're never right. So, but this week is cool. I'm excited. We've been doing a giveaway on the Monday night live feed on Facebook for, well, geez, we're coming up on 5 years now. I think the first one was during COVID, the whole COVID thing. But for sure 26 and 27, that kind of thing. And so we started a point system that goes along with the regular giveaway, which just kind of rewards people for playing along with us on Monday night. It's a lot of fun. If you're not checking that out on Monday night, come by. It is. The live feeds are a lot of fun. I've been perpetually working on trying to get something, or getting the whole thing switched over to YouTube, only because, and I talk about this a lot when we do talk about it, YouTube is just set up a lot better for videos and different shenanigans like that. So we'll see. Again, you know, I've talked about it before, and you guys just being here are helping out quite a bit. This YouTube, oops, I didn't mean to do that. This channel I've had since 2011. However, I didn't do anything with it along the way. In the beginning, I put up a few videos and didn't really know what I was doing, and didn't know, you know, how I was going to use it, and so it ended up just kind of being a placeholder really till about COVID, right after that. And then I started putting up all kinds of videos and shoring up the content and what I wanted to get out of it and that kind of stuff. So now I am left with a very old channel with no subscribers on it, which is great. And I shouldn't say no subscribers. I've got you guys, and I deeply appreciate that. But usually a channel that was started in 2011 has a lot more subscribers just by default. But because I didn't put anything into it, there's no reason for people to subscribe. So I'm playing catch up now. But I'd love to have the platform be the biggest platform that I have right now. It's kind of a toss-up between Facebook and Instagram, which in the beginning was fine. I loved both platforms. However, they've gotten really weird in the past year and a half, and they don't have as much bite as they used to, which my goal is to just have a platform where I can get this stuff out there and people see it. But once the algorithm gods took over, it just you know, they got weird. So YouTube, at least I can get everything up there, and even though that is also algorithm driven, which hitting that like button and subscribing and telling people, sharing it if you feel so inclined, is huge. However, at least here, as I post videos, I can organize them and they make sense, and you can find them, and eventually as it grows, it'll make a lot of sense. So that's my goal. I shouldn't be bouncing around like this. One of the big problems with taking this, like this little area right here, and bouncing around a lot is I'll end up losing my place. Like I'll do something over here, then bounce over here, but not realize that I painted the wrong building. So it's usually a better deal to just kind of stay in one area and finish it up and move on. This painting right now, this is the first time I've worked on it since I've done the last two. So it's been about 2 weeks since I worked on it last. So there is, and I've talked about this, there is a, kind of a settling in process with painting this small. Like I can't just immediately sit down and knock out the finest stuff. My eyes take a little bit of time to adjust, so I just got to kind of work with one area until I get caught up with it, and then I can move on. And then, it makes it a lot easier after that. What's going on here? This is that little notched building, yeah. This building has a little notch in it. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. Now that I'm starting to kind of like zone in on this, it's making a little more sense. This brush just finally had it. The ferrule's all bent, which I bent the ferrule. This brush is just about, this brush is exactly a year old. I remember I got it when I was back in Massachusetts this time last year. And I immediately bent the ferrule, putting it in my little art bin box. It didn't really affect the way that it worked, but it helps me identify this particular brush. But anyway, this brush is about a year old now, and it's just starting to kind of split at the end. It does that forked tongue thing, which is always the indication that these brushes have had enough of my abuse. And this brush is about there now. And I don't have one in reserve, which is odd. Usually I have a brand new one ready to go all the time, but I thought I did. Inventory Steve gets fired because this has been happening with a bunch of different things. I am not out of reducer, but I've been meaning to order the new Createx reducer since it came out. And I just haven't really gotten around to doing it. One, because the need isn't there yet. I know the new reducer is amazing and it's working really great for people, but for me, I had a bunch of 4011 left and that was working really well for me. So there wasn't a need to just say, okay, I'm going to dump everything I have and switch over, like what happened with the 4012 when they really made the announcement they were going to get rid of 4012 as a reducer, and they basically redid 4011. 4011 really took the place of everything. It was the kind of thing where, I did actually not use the rest of the 4012. I still have a bunch of it, and I use it to like clean airbrushes and things like that. But the 4021 is just an improvement over the current, stuff that they have. So the 4011 works for me. So I'm going to use all of what I have, which I just really finished up the big bottle that I have, and then so now that I'm in a position where I'm down to the last, say, 4 ounces of reducer, which is in the little bottle that I have, I should already have it on order, and you guys can laugh at me when I run out of the 4 ounces and I'm scrambling for reducer. But like I said, Inventory Steve has been written up. Normally that's not supposed to happen. It's like the wet palette, the parchment. I thought I had more of these and I didn't, and then I was stuck without them, and that was terrible. I hate that. Tonight's cheers is whatever you guys got. I have coffee because it's early, and again, I film these in the morning usually, and I it's just not a good idea to get into having adult beverages at 10 a.m. Most of the time. If you're on vacation, then that's different. Then you can have an adult beverage whenever you want. It's been cold here in Ohio, and it's snowy, which is crazy. I've been here for, this is going to be the 5th year coming up. And I'm used to New England winters and all that stuff, and I moved to Ohio, and it was like, wow, this is really nice. We didn't get any snow, or not really anything, pretty snow, and then it's gone. But this season has been It's been in proper snow. This might be too dark. Not, you know, northern New England snow. You know, it isn't like feet of snow. But still, it's here and it's not going anywhere right now, so. That's been fun. Okay. Yeah, that's that up there. This has got a little gray square on it too. See, now I'm getting caught up. Soapboxes. I'm still, I'll do this. Actually, I'll get this up before the Wednesday feed, and you can call me out if I don't. But I'm going to put up a community post here so you guys can just add your soapbox ideas right in the comments. And that'll be good. That'll give me a chance to look to see what you guys want to hear about, if anything. Or you can just tell me to shut up and paint. That's fine too. All right, so that's that. I've got this one. What's going on? This building is kind of gray here. Yar. Yeah, and this building comes out to about here. So this building's a lighter gray. All right, let's jump over to this one. This paint has just about had it too, but that's fine. Again, I haven't painted well, I painted this week. I painted yesterday. But I wasn't working on this, and I didn't need the wet palette, so the wet palette, I didn't recharge it, so it's starting to dry out a little bit. Okay, so it's this building right above this little towery building. Yeah. And it's kind of gray, and it only goes to the edge of this one. So I've got that almost right. So we're going to gray that out a little bit. And we're going to add the face to that building. This might need to be a little bit lighter, but that's okay. I can bump it around after. It should be lighter than this little tiny double window building right in the front. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it should be a little bit lighter, but I can get that. It's the same color as this other building, so those two blend in. But what I can do is I can grab a little bit of white and just off on the palette, just mix up still have the other gray in this brush. So when I grab the white, this makes just a lighter gray. It's probably too light, so I'll add a little bit of something to it. What I don't want is I don't want this to appear white like above it. I want it to be a little bit lighter, just so that this building, little double windowed building, kind of pops out. Even though they're almost the same color anyway. Here we go. It still needs to be a little bit lighter. So same deal. I grab a little bit of white, go back to the same color that I just mixed up. Oh, there it is. That's the one I wanted. Here we go. And, I've reduced this a little bit so that it's fairly transparent. You can see that really didn't do much at all, but if I go over it another time, I'm adding another really thin layer of white on top, or this lighter color on top of that, and then it just gradually changes in value. You know what I mean? It's not like I mixed up the correct color and just painted it in. I'm just kind of using the color underneath to kind of sneak up on it. All right, that looks good. And now I need to put the windows in on the front of that one, and then I can do the roof. Because there's a lot going on the roof of that one. I know it's funny because I'm trying really hard to see. I mean, again, you guys have the reference photo, wherever it is over here. You guys have the reference photo, so you guys can see what I'm seeing. But like I said, as we're getting farther back in the scene, the resolution on the photo is getting blurrier and blurrier, and I really want to. I really want to be able to see it, but the photo just doesn't have what it in it. So I have to kind of, follow what I'm seeing. So it's okay if it's not quite perfect from here out, these individual windows here, because they're blurry in my photo. They're starting to get blurry. It's a bigger bank of windows here. I sound stuffy, but I'm not. I don't know what's going on. Everyone's got the flu around here. Not in the house, but around me. And trying to avoid it. literally like the plague. I don't want to get sick. Good, 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 good. I like it. Yeah, you can just barely see the next set of windows there. That's good. And then it's dark on that side, which I've already got. Looks like there's a little building right here next to it, which a couple windows. So I'll put those windows in first, and then I'll build the rest of that building up. Yeah, next to this one, there's a couple buildings. Yeah, there's a double window building here. Oops, that came a little bit too big, but I think that's going to be okay. And then the roof on that has kind of a greenish cast to it. So we're going to use this same gray and add a little bit of moss green to it to get kind of a greenish gray. And looks like the building in front of it has, oh, the hair in there. There we go. Yeah, so back to ordering stuff. Yeah, so I have a list of things I need to get. Plus, I perpetually have a Amazon cart that has all kinds of stuff in it. But sometimes the Amazon orders, you know, I'll just have like a wish list kind of thing of things that I would like to get. Like I need a new point driver, and it's a little device that puts these flat spikes into the back of a frame to hold the back in or whatever. Some people use it for glass, but I don't use it that way. So I want a brand new one of those. I need a new one of those. Just random stuff like that. I need to order magnets again. I seem to be losing small magnets. So it's about time to reorder those too. All right, that's good. So that just the little hit of that olivey green really looks nice there. And that little olive green is one good example of that kind of thing that's going on with this whole painting. Like when the painting's done and you look at it, it's a foggy day in Tokyo. There's no sun. There is sun, but it's behind all the clouds. So the image of the city almost seems very monochromatic until you really start looking at it and you see all those different subtle colors that are going on in there. So I'm happy with that. All right, so that's good. That's a little guy. A couple of little things that are going on in front that I just didn't really resolve here. It's kind of a brick red building, which I do have some red over here and some brown. This might be burnt umber. Yeah. It's also, oh, I dropped the brush. It's also dried out too, but it'll still work. Yeah, so soapbox stuff, just let me know. I'll put up that post. This is too bright, I can tell right now. I'll put up a post here on the community page. Just run on there and I'll leave it up permanently so you guys can just fill it up whenever you have a random thought, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, this brush has had it too. Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, yeah, a little bit of red in there. There we go. Before I get into this white building above here. Yep, I like it. Okay, good. Oh, and this section right below that, that's the one I was working on that I hadn't really resolved yet. Go with more of a, this is burnt umber, that's brown. You can tell when you spread it out. But I do need some white in that because I need that to stand out a little bit. These drops have had it. So what you can do sometimes, you can kind of break the skin on the top and there's still paint underneath that's liquid. So that's what's going on with this little drop right here. But I just need it to be kind of a brownish color. It doesn't have to be super specific. So hopefully your new year was good, even though we're 2 weeks into it now. All your resolutions are being resolved. I hope so. This is too bright, but it's okay. What am I looking at there? Oh, I was seeing glare on the screen. So this is really, it's going to be too bright, but I'm going to darken this down a little bit. Oh no, because it's really thin. So it's going to be okay. Good. Yeah, mine, at the beginning of the year always sees like all the new painting ideas for the year kind of. I mean, I'll have other ideas during the year, but in the beginning I try to like get all the ideas that I didn't get done or started in 24. Really try to like lock all those down and get them started so that it kind of forces me to work on them, which is nice. If I started them, I'll feel guilty. And then it's like, okay, I really should get to those. So I started two new paintings, which is great. And I have another one that I started at the end of the year. That started just as a demo. If you've been watching the Monday night thing, I did a painting of a turkey for Thanksgiving, or started one. And I did it as a demo, but I really, really started enjoying it. So I know I'm gonna finish it, but it's gonna be a lot more than just a demo painting, which I'm excited about. Okay, that's good. That's good there. That's that one. That window came out kind of crappy. Yeah, so I've got two new ones. I've got three paintings here that still need to be framed, which is good because what happens is with an unframed painting, it means I didn't show it, obviously because it's unframed. So I'll have three paintings just out of the gate for 2025 that I can enter in shows and do different things with. So I'm excited about that. And you guys have seen those. There's Alber's Fender, which is the painting inspired by Joseph Albers, the Joseph Albers book. I reread that, and so this painting comes from that. There's Pickup Lines, which I am super happy with. I took that photo a long time ago. Again, two in a row that are these old, really old vintage cars. And what is the third one? I'm drawing a blank. I will remember it, and then when I remember it, I'll show it to you. Yeah, what are the three that aren't framed? Alber's Fender, Pickup Lines. I don't know. And then the other good thing is Tokyo painting should be done this year, and I'll have the frame kind of worked out before I get to the point where I need it. So I know that'll get done in 25, unless something crazy happens. But we're moving along pretty solidly on this. So I can see, even if it looks close, what I'll end up doing is I'll just finish it out. I'll just record all the episodes all at once. Like if I'm within, I don't know, 10 hours. If I'm 10 hours away from finishing, which is about 20 episodes, I could see myself working just, flat out on it. Not 10 hours in a row because I'll lose my mind, but, doing 2 or 3 sessions to get it done. And then even though you guys, unfortunately, will have to wait because, the episodes will come out weekly, the painting itself will be done and I can start showing it as well, which is nice. What's going on here again? Oh, this needs to be darker. Okay. And I think I told you guys, I pretty much decided, well, not decided, but it looks like the most available wood I can get, Japanese hardwood, is a Japanese spruce, which is nice, or cedar. I think that's what it was, cedar, which is going to be really, really nice because the stone for this is kind of a light ochre yellow color. So the lighter spruce frame is going to go really, really well with that. I'm really excited about the frame now. I got to get off my butt and order the wood. And I'm glad that I've kind of waited on getting the wood because the frame is kind of evolving as well. I want to leave enough space on the back of them now for like a security type setup, and in order to do that, the painting has to have enough meat in the frame, enough wood in the frame to screw this security clip into. And the older versions of the frame don't have enough room in there for that, which is fine for the older versions. But I'm not going to reframe everything because it's not as important. But this one is going to be kind of the poster child, the test model for that security clip. All right, good. We're rolling. So I'm going to do this little building right here. And then, as we're doing it, I've got this whole section done. So we're going to, yeah, we got about 5 minutes left. So we're going to have enough time to just airbrush this real quick. And this whole little section will be locked in, ready to go. Get the windows here on this little guy. There are 3 of them. What's going on here? Nothing really. It's just shading on that. That roof is good. This part above this building is really the next section. So again, like the other building, I'm just going to kind of draw the top of the roof and then leave it. This little blob here, which is the next building up, I'm going to leave that as well. I'll do that on the next pass. And then this guy here, we're looking good here on the top of this one, maybe? Kind of, sort of. Yeah, it's dark. That's all good. And then what's going on over here? Same deal over here on the top of this building. I'll just kind of indicate the top of the roof line to kind of finish this white building here. Now I got to obviously keep going up above, but for now, that'll straighten that out. There's a little more separation between these two. We'll get the airbrush out, hit it a little bit to kind of ground some of those buildings, but yeah, now when we switch out to the full view of this, keep an eye on what I did and what the impact is after. This section is very, very small. So here's my, well, I got my finger, my let's use my pinky since that's the right size. So my pinky completely covers that whole area without a problem, right? So it's very, very small. To give you an idea, also a scale, this is an X-Acto blade. An X-Acto blade will pretty much cover that whole area too. But watch what happens when we pull back at the end. It'll just blend in as like one little section, which is exactly what this needs to do. It can't be like super in your face. I don't want that. I don't want, there to be so much detail there that you wouldn't normally be able to see, because that's when things start looking fake. All right, so same deal. I don't necessarily need to grab a stencil for this because I'm just kind of, again, I'm grounding some of those buildings by basically just kind of spraying on the bottom of them to kind of separate them out a little bit, to kind of put that separation between the bottoms of the buildings and everything else. So I want to avoid the roof lines because there is no shading on that, but anywhere where there's a side of a building, I'm just going to give it a little tiny hit. Now, I shouldn't say that. Like the top of this white building here, I am going to give that a little bit of airbrushing because there's some shading going on in different bump outs that are on there. But, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. There we go. And I want to lose this bottom corner of this little guy right here too. Good. Good, 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 good. Alrighty. So that's what we got. So let's switch out to the full view. And again, look at that. You see that the white, bigger building with all the windows, and just look to the right of that. That's what we did right above the little triangular blue wedge. And see how that all just kind of like blends together. It just like becomes this one little textural area. But as you get closer, there are windows there and that kind of fun stuff. But as you back up from it, it just becomes part of the city. And that's what we're looking for. I don't want to be 12 inches away from this thing and see individual windows in sections like that. All righty. So you know what to do. Again, feed the algorithm gods. Hit that like button for me, even if you're watching this after, especially if you're watching it after. We premiere these every Wednesday night, so I interact with everyone who's on, but feel free to leave your comments after the fact if you're watching this after. I try to read and respond to every comment, so I love that. If you want to support us in a more financial way, you can become a member here on YouTube. You get a 10% discount on my website, as well as early access to Tech Tuesday. No, Time Lapse Tuesday, that's the old one. And same thing with Patreon. You get a discount over there, and I've been bad, but the Patreon members get their own personal video too. All right, so for Steve Leahy and Through Lachlan's Eyes, I will catch you guys next week. Have a great one.